Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims Info and Thoughts video. So we got more news regarding Realm of Magic, as well as SimGuru Grant giving an interesting answer regarding household funds being shared versus not being shared. So let's get right into it, starting with a couple of new GIFs from Realm of Magic. So SimGuru Ninja posted this one saying, "Winter in Glimmer Brook is a magical time. Realm of Magic plus seasons." And yes, just yes, I love how this looks. I feel like maybe even some of my favorite worlds in winter like Granite Falls, Windenburg, and Brindleton Bay have new competition. And I've noticed that we have been getting a lot of hot climate worlds recently, like Del Sol Valley, Strangerville, and Sulani. I don't know why I blanked on Sulani for a second there, but yeah, I'm more than ready for a world that has a bit of a colder climate, so hopefully Glimmer Brook has that. Hopefully it is a bit colder overall than worlds like Willow Creek. It's also worth pointing out that there is a fishing spot here, but I just noticed when I looked even closer that there's a spot directly across from the fishing spot where there's like a little slope that goes down to the water, but there's no fishing spot there. And I can't help but wonder, what's the point? What's the point of that being there if you can't do anything on that side of the river? And maybe I'm looking way too deeply into this, but maybe our Sims can swim in Glimmer Brook. I'm not fully expecting it though, even though it would be really cool if all future worlds had some sort of open water swimming, whether it's in a river or a lake or an ocean. But I don't know, my gut feeling is still saying it might be too soon. It might be too soon after Island Living for them to do that, but if they can, that would be awesome. Another little detail that I noticed just now is that in the background, you can see way there, hopefully you can see it, I have to zoom it in quite a bit, but there's at least a couple of flocks of pigeons just moving around, bobbing their heads, flying in. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully they are the interactive ones that we got with cats and dogs, because then your Sims can chase them off or send a pet to collect feathers from them. So yeah, hopefully that's the case, because in Del Sol Valley there is one flock of pigeons that's not too far from the playground in Mirage Park, so that does give me hope that it will be the interactive ones and not just the decorative ones that we got in Windenburg and San Myshuno. And one neat little detail that you may not know about the feather collection is that when you drag a feather to the wall, it turns into this really nice display. I know I'm a bit biased since I do have a bird in my username, and there actually is a seagull feather, but the feather collection is definitely one of my favorite collection types in The Sims 4. One last thing I want to point out real quick is that there is a house that you can see in the background, but it is obscured by pine trees in this shot. So hopefully soon we can see more of what the pre-made lots look like. I'm curious to see if there's any distinct architectural style to them. Wow, I was not expecting to spend this long on this one GIF, but turns out there was more to unpack than I expected. But we did get this other GIF from SimGuru Houts. He says, "Why anyone would think a leaf bat is a better familiar than a magical flaming skull is beyond me. They are kinda cute though." I would say they're more than kinda cute. I really love this leaf bat that is a bat and has leaves for wings and leaves for ears. Just wow. I wonder how they came up with this one. What inspired them to combine leaves and a bat? But what was weird with this one is that this gift didn't work for me initially, but then when I had dinner and came back, then it magically worked. Well, that was not really an intentional pun on my part, but yeah, it was quite weird how that worked because I tried on multiple devices, but now it works. So in case you were having that same issue as me, then you can see that tweet and that GIF hopefully in its full glory now. SimGuru House also did post this still photo of the leaf bat. Yeah, it looks pretty magical, pretty cute. I don't know, I'm not sure which one of these familiars is going to be my favorite, but we'll see. In addition, there's also this tweet. Okay, let's settle this. Who is cuter, the awesome skull? Yes. Or the dumb old leaf bat? Nuh-uh. With no bias whatsoever, I can say it's obviously the skull, right? I can't agree with you, Houts. I'm sorry. But Yeah, they're both cool at least. I just wouldn't use cute as an adjective for the skull. Alright, so that's all the realm of magic info for now, so let's move on to SimGuru Grant's tweet. So, when Kimberly asked Haya, I was wondering why all Sims have to share the household funds. Why not have a bank and bank accounts? It's a bit weird when my teen travels with the entire family savings. SimGuru Grant replies with, while it doesn't reflect real life, having a single shared fund is just simpler. If you had to shift funds between Sims, track funds, it would require more UX or user experience, would make the game more complex. While I haven't personally explored it, I wonder if it would really make the game fun. When I was in high school, I had a job and did household chores and mowed lawns. I gave checks to my dad and he would deposit the money. If I went to the movies, he'd hand me a $20 bill. That's easy in real life. That'd be super tedious in The Sims, so not at all saying it's a bad idea, not at all saying it cannot be done, but considering all the things you find folks want, I'm not sure that's the best priority for us. One more thing, we always have to find that tricky balance between content and features for super hardcore people who know everything, while also making the game approachable for new folks. We need both. Systems like this are great for the former, harder for the latter. While I don't always agree with what Grant says, I think this is a pretty reasonable explanation. Makes so much sense to me because it would actually make the game a lot harder and more intimidating for new players to have like these individual household funds to keep track of for every single sim. But at the same time, yeah, I wouldn't mind if this was implemented, but it's not something that's high on my wish list compared to stuff like university, farming, more off-the-grid stuff, and just so many other features. This is still like a pretty low thing on my list, but with the SNB bank mod, which I will link to in the video description below in case you're curious, it did convince me that it could have a place in The Sims. It's just that me personally, I haven't run into any situations yet where it's mandatory or even really something where I just think of using it, so we'll see. Maybe it's just me, maybe there are a lot more of you who would use this, but I do think that Grant has a point that it's not really something that's super highly requested compared to a lot of things, and also making the game more intimidating for newcomers, because I know I've talked to people where with City Skylines, even though I love that game, people tell me, yeah, like it's kind of hard to get into. And I know for me, I actually did watch some videos from James Turner. He helped me get into the game and just where to start with everything. But I guess maybe a decent amount of people would not really go to that effort of looking up online video tutorials and learning the ropes that way. And I suppose that is somewhat fair, because I personally grew up in an age where video games always came with the manual, and you gotta read the manual first so you know what to do. But that's typically not how video games are done these days, especially with the shift towards digital media versus selling things physically. I do hope that individual funds and bank accounts could be possible in The Sims eventually, whether it's in The Sims 4 or in a future Sims title, because I think a new base game would be a pretty good opportunity to do it, so you could do that from the ground up instead of trying to squeeze it into some updates or DLC later down the line and trying to justify a good reason to have it there. But I think if they were to put that in The Sims 4, University would be a very good opportunity to do this. That would probably be a situation where I would use individual household funds so that my teenager going off to university could be given some funds by the parents, and yeah, then they just go off to university instead of, well, I actually can't remember how the funds were handled by students going to university in previous Sims games, but whatever was done in the past. And that wraps up another Sims info and thoughts video, so feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below on this new stuff with Realm of Magic, and how you think the financial system in The Sims should be done. Are you happy with how it is now, or do you think it should be changed? And be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with my latest content from The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!